to let the officers and the public out there know what's going on, to definitely be careful. Earlier tonight, we did see this car. We believe it's a Honda Civic, a newer model, going at very high rates of speed. Look at that on the right side of your screen. That was earlier when the driver got off the freeway and onto local streets. That was that right turn on Osborne, and then that right turn onto a residential street. We saw this car go very quickly on the 118 freeway, then on the 5 freeway, and eventually he got off into residential streets. Original want, as far as we know, was speed. This car is definitely this driver going at a pretty high rate of speed. And with Stu back with us here, giving us this live picture, it looks like he is still on the go.
Yep, getting back onto the freeway, making his way back onto the 5 freeway right there. We'll see which way he's headed. It looks like he's back southbound once again, starting to blend back in there. We were listening in on the on some of the CHP channels, and it does sound like the California Highway Patrol getting some wrong information. He got off on Osborne. We were hearing that they were getting information that people were saying that he got off on Van Nuys. So that's going to really kind of get a delay for the law enforcement to get back behind it. Southbound 5 freeway right now. We're definitely going to be in the Arleta area, making our way over towards the 170 if he takes it. Could stay on the 5, little bit slower speeds, just not in the hundreds, but definitely passing vehicles. So you're probably guessing about 80 miles an hour this evening. I can tell you right now, Sky 9 is tracking that vehicle just about at 90. So we're probably right. So he's probably right about that speed. Looks like we're going to get way over. That doesn't mean he's not going to be getting onto the up. It does mean in this case he's going to stay on the southbound 5, and we'll see what happens. If California Highway Patrol picks it up. I do see a law enforcement helicopter, and I'm hearing them talking. So they're giving information right now to the California Highway Patrol that they have eyes on the vehicle and southbound 5 freeway, and we're going to be approaching Sunland Boulevard here in just a moment.
And Stu, this guy was originally wanted for possibly speeding, doing 100 on the freeway, right? So.
Right. Well, we don't know we saw this car doing about 100 on the freeway earlier on. Originally, though, it was kind of, I used the word nutty. He was making high-speed U-turns on the surface streets. He was on Chatsworth. He would make a U-turn. He'd get on Balboa. He was on Reseda, and moving very, very quickly, trying to elude the officers from California Highway Patrol. But they stayed behind him, and then when we saw it, when he got on the freeway, that's when he really started to open it up, and he created that distance between this vehicle and the officers. And again, we only know this vehicle is wanted for speed, and a lot of times they have to weigh the odds. How badly do we want, how much in danger should we put the public to get this vehicle to stop? How much danger should we put our officers in to get this vehicle to stop? So in this case, this car is not slowing down. It hasn't slowed down at all. Speeds continue to move and continue to climb as we're working our way southbound 5, getting very close to Burbank. We're going to be passing the Empire Center here very quickly. Gives you an idea how fast we're moving. And this is going to probably get the officers back into pursuit.
And definitely, if he keeps going on the 5 southbound, he'll eventually make it closer to Griffith Park, obviously Dodger Stadium, and then into downtown Los Angeles, where, of course, traffic is going to be a lot heavier. He did have that one option of taking the 170 southbound, which would have taken him into North Hollywood and eventually towards the 101 southbound. And again, heavier traffic normally in that area, especially through the Cahuenga Pass. But this driver stayed on the 5 southbound, and as Stu was telling us, he was going to pass the Empire Center right there where the Target store is and where the Walmart store is. So you all know where that is. There's a Costco not too far from there. So that's that part of Burbank that we're talking about. But you can see right now traffic is pretty light at this hour, and this driver cutting right through just all drivers on both the left and side and right side of him.
And he just crisscrosses lanes. Sometimes he uses his blinkers, sometimes he doesn't. At one point we saw him in the emergency lane, flying past all sorts of cars. Looks like he continues to do that. How fast do you think he's going at this point, Stu?
I'm guessing I'm going to put it. We are basically kind of just tracking along, maybe a little bit ahead of him. So definitely into the hundreds, maybe 110.
Jeez,
wow.
Don't know what the limiter is on this, but look at this. Just
close.
passing vehicles. That was the emergency lane out there. So he's riding up very close to that wall. And, you know, maybe it's a good thing every now and then when he gets into those emergency lanes. A lot of debris out there. Maybe he'll pick something up. Maybe he'll get a flat tire. It's like its own little spike strip, you know? So maybe that when he's driving in those lanes with all that debris, he might pick something up, get a flat tire, and bring this to and end safely. Right now, though, I can tell you LAPD is working with California Highway Patrol. I'm going to have to start changing some frequencies because they are getting into different areas themselves, different divisions, but they are working to get California Highway Patrol to re-engage this pursuit. So we'll see some lights and sirens. Hopefully that's going to help some of the public this evening, but this car moving extremely fast, getting close to some other cars there. You haven't used a blinker, but really, what difference is that going to make if this guy uses a blinker? You're going to look in your mirror, you're going to see headlights, and this car is going to be passing you. And right there, really squeezing between some cars. And this could be part of the issue as well. Somebody might be planning to make a lane change, not thinking that this guy is going 100 and something, and might make a lane change into this car. Hopefully, this will end peacefully. Very fast-moving pursuit this evening. Going to be getting out of the Burbank area. Glendale, we're going to touch on Glendale, and then the Los Feliz is our next stop if he stays southbound 5.
All right, Stu, while you change frequencies and catch up with law enforcement there, we want to go ahead and update our viewers who may be tuning in for the first time now. We've been following this pursuit for just under 10 minutes or so. This is a Honda Civic. Apparently, it was wanted for speeding, and you can see exactly what's going on right now. We've been monitoring this pursuit for the last few minutes or so, and this car, on both the right and left part of your screens there, you can see definitely taking some quick turns at high rates of speed. On your right-hand side, this was just moments ago when the driver got off of the freeway. He was on the 118 freeway, then the 5 freeway, stopped onto some surface streets for a little bit, possibly giving police the slip, but then there was a helicopter that was up above, lit him up with the night sun, as it's called at night, the spotlight, and the driver got back inside his car and kept going. So he thought he was going to get away from police for apparently speeding, and who knows what else may be inside the car, but he is right now still continuing to move at a brisk rate of speed, over 100 miles an hour. He's in the Burbank area now, and as Stu was telling us, shortly he'll be hitting the Los Feliz area, of course, and then getting closer and closer to downtown Los Angeles and the freeway interchanges down there as well.
Juan, right now it looks like he's going through Griffith Park. You can see the chopper spotlight over this person. Apparently he's been going hitting speeds up to 100 miles per hour, not using his blinker at times, flying down the 5 freeway, passing by cars. Just definitely a reckless scene out there. So far we haven't really seen any CHP officers or cruisers out there maybe trying to stay back for safety reasons, but you can see this guy just flying down the 5 freeway, Griffith Park. At one point we thought he would get out of his car when he was in the residential neighborhood. That didn't happen. Let's go back up to Stu, who's been watching this whole thing happen. Stu.
Well, just going to let all our viewers know, we are all huge Dodger fans, go LA, but there is a game this evening.
Uh-oh, that's traffic.
TFR, yes.
Oh, no.
No, it's not the traffic. It's going to be the TFR. So the helicopter, we can't fly through. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to keep the shot the best we can. Brendan's going to do some awesome flying. I'm going to try to stretch my camera abilities to their greatest length and see if we can keep an eye on this vehicle on the freeway. California Highway Patrol, their setup right now is basically they're going to wait and have this vehicle come to them. That's the way it sounds like what they're going to do. They're not going to try to chase or catch up. They've got units a little bit farther down the road, and they're going to try to intercept this chase. So right now we're starting to move away from the freeway, so you're going to see the shot kind of get a little bit farther and farther away. This car, maybe it's not going to stand out as much as if it would with a bunch of law enforcement behind it. Going to make every effort to keep an eye on it. Of course, we get updates from the LAPD helicopter that's overhead. They are immune. They are law enforcement, so we'll be able to. They'll be able to give out locations. So we'll just join them on the other side, as it would be. But right now, definitely getting into the Los Feliz area. You can see that vehicle. Even with these side shots, it really kind of gives you an idea how fast this car is moving. And 90-95 is what the law enforcement is saying right now. Definitely passing Glendale right there, Glendale Boulevard. So continuing southbound on the 5 freeway. I got some hills in the way, so I got to work with Brennan here. And just I'll be back with you guys in a second. Can we bump it up a little?
All right, and Stu was telling us there, talking about those flight restrictions. The reason we're seeing his shot get further and further away from the action right there is there are certain parts of Los Angeles, LAX, Dodger Stadium, Disneyland, where there is a flight restriction. Our chopper can't fly through that area, and because there is a Dodger game tonight, we are restricted from doing that. So Stu's doing his best to get around that flight restriction, get around Dodger Stadium. But even with this faraway shot, you can still see he has kept the car right in the middle of your shot there. That is that Honda Civic that's been keeping the CHP and law enforcement puzzled as to see what's going to happen next. Stu was saying that most likely they aren't going to be following him from the back, that they're going to wait for this driver to get to them. So they must be setting up their strategy in order to catch up with this person. They obviously know the car. They know the license plate of it. We just don't know if the driver matches the car, if he's actually the owner of the car. But he was wanted for speeding earlier tonight. And as we see this shot get farther and farther away, you can see the traffic starting to build up just a little bit. And I still believe I see that car right there in the middle of the shot. So the car wanted for high speed. It's a difficult thing to see, but as Stu says, he's going to try to get around us and bring us details of this high-speed pursuit. But again, this driver wanted for speeding. Now we're seeing some red and blue lights there, obviously some law enforcement in the area as well. So you might imagine if the Dodger game would be letting up anytime soon, the traffic in that area is going to be pretty heavy, especially with law enforcement following a pursuit suspect.
Looks like we've lost our guy. Stu is trying to get around it at this point, but you can see on the 5 freeway, it looks like there's quite a bit of traffic moving at a nice clip. And earlier we saw this guy just racing through the 5 without any regard for anyone, not using, there he is right there. Looks like this is the residential area when he got off into a residential area at one point. He pulls over. We thought that maybe he would get out of his car. Looked like he did open the door.
Stu said he did get out. He saw his white socks, and then once I guess he didn't feel comfortable about it, got back inside his car, and then suddenly that spotlight from the helicopter above lit him up, and he knew obviously that he couldn't hide any longer, and there it is right there, the car taking off and the pursuit continuing. We first picked it up, as we mentioned, about 20 or so minutes ago. This car was on the 118 freeway doing what you see right there on the right side of your screen, just blazing by other cars on the freeway. We know he was on the 118. We know at times he was on the 5 freeway. And as well as you see here from our live picture from Sky 9, the pursuit continues. Stick around. We're going to take a quick break and hopefully connect back with Stu Mundell.
Oh, looks like we're going
to keep going.
Is this the car right here?
Okay, we are looking at that. Folks, if you look right there in the middle of your screen, you see that one car that's passing all the other cars. That looks like that may be the car that police are chasing. Stu, can you hear us?
Oh, definitely. And what we're doing is law enforcement had a little issue as well. It wasn't just us. But you know what? This is kind of a little unusual. If that is the vehicle that was being pursued, I mean, the silver Honda Civic, it's a common car out here in Southern California. You can see the law enforcement right there, the CHP, just passing him up as well. So we're going to keep an eye on the California Highway Patrol. And we're going to keep an eye on see if Brendan's also got his eagle eyes out. He's looking ahead of us on the 5 to see if we can see a vehicle moving quickly. But we're going to keep an eye on it. We got the California Highway Patrol searching right now. They might be trying to catch up. We don't know for a fact, but because I have not heard an exact. Yeah, they're. Yep.
Yeah, Stu, keep an eye on the roads there. We're going to take a quick break here. KCAL 9 News at 9. We'll be right back, and we'll join you back with this breaking news.
While other solar companies come and go, Peterson-Dean Roofing and Solar continues to grow. In fact, we're actively adding quality American jobs in renewable energy and celebrating our 35th successful year in business by offering up to $3,500 off any solar or roofing project. Yes, we're celebrating 35 years, so you get up to $3,500 off. The federal tax credit will sunset over the next few years.
These are two of the California Highway Patrol units that were behind him earlier on. They've stopped right there. We've been listening to the traffic. They lost ops on him somewhere on the 5, probably in the same area right by Stadium Way is what we were hearing was the last place they saw the vehicle. Again, did he get off the freeway? Did he stay on? Not really sure, but we can tell you California Highway Patrol let this one go, and so did we. We could have done a little better, maybe get a better eye on it, but we have to follow the rules just like everybody else, and that TFR kept us a distance away. So the vehicle wanted for speed got away this evening, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a license plate, because they do. But they'll probably door knock it. But you know what? Hopefully that guy doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't hurt himself. But this evening over here in Boyle Heights, southbound 5, these are the last 2 units, and that vehicle has gave them the slip. Live at Sky 9, Stu Mundell. Back to you two.
Yeah, best news about this, nobody was hurt, Stu. Thanks so much for that.
And the